099765 kapena so email ku komboni@gmail.com.
Luntha Television stands as an autonomous faith-based broadcaster with a national and international reach. Experience the difference with Luntha Television, where innovation meets experience. Our dedicated team, backed by cutting-edge technology, ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees credibility and professionalism in all its endeavors and services. We offer, among this, production and broadcasting of jingles, music videos, narratives, documentaries, press services and programs on location or outside, live broadcasting of mass and other church functions, government or indoor functions, and political rallies, creation and broadcasting of special programs, sponsored content, sports and entertainment, and advertising for small, medium and large enterprises. All services are offered at competitive prices. Tune in daily to catch Luntha Television on Zuko on Channel 51, Starsat Channel 474, Star Times Channel 474, Topstar 474, Kriye 007, GoTV on Channel 807, Azam on Channel 386, and live streams on our YouTube and Facebook platforms. You can find us in Area 2 Lilongwe or can reach us on 0883 815 055. Come, let us help you.
Glad you could join us for 7:30 News Bulletin. My name is Fales Chizombe.
Pope Leo XIV highlights Gaza and Yemen migrants in first Christmas Ubi et Obi message. Minister of Gender calls for love and inclusion of persons with disabilities at Christmas celebrations. Former Vice President Dr. Michael Usi spreads a Christmas cheer, calls for love and compassion. In other news, 5 killed in suspected suicide bombing at a mosque in Nigeria's Borno state.
We have more stories coming up. Do stay with us. In his first Christmas Urbi et Orbi message as a pontiff, Pope Leo XIV urged the world to embrace responsibility as the sure way to peace, while pointing in particular to the suffering of people in Gaza, Yemen, and those fleeing war and poverty as refugees and migrants. Before an estimated 26,000 people gathered in St. Peter's Square on December 25th, the Pope appeared at the central balcony of St. Peter's Basilica to deliver the traditional Christmas blessing to the city and to the world 8 months after his May 8 election. In one of the most evocative passages of the message, the Pope cited at length from World Peace, a poem by Israel poet Yehuda Amichai, contrasting the peace of a ceasefire with a deeper peace that arrives unexpectedly like wildflowers after exhortation and conflict. We have a Catholic News Agency report read by Tandiwe Zumara.
The Pope framed his appeal around the Christian proclamation that Christ is our peace, adding that without heart freed from sin, a heart that has been forgiven, we cannot be men and women of peace or builders of peace. Turning to concrete faces of contemporary pen, Pope Leo said that in becoming man, Jesus took upon himself our fragility, identifying with each one of us, with those who have nothing left and have lost everything, like the inhabitants of Gaza, with those who are prey to hunger and poverty, like the Yemen people, with those who are freeing their homeland to seek a future elsewhere, like the many refugees and migrants who cross the Mediterranean or traverse the American continent. He also named those who have lost jobs, underpaid workers, who are exploited, and prisoners who often live in inhumane conditions. The Holy Father offered a warm and fatherly greeting to Christians, especially those living in the Middle East, recalling his recent trip to Turkey and Lebanon. He also prayed in a particular way for the tormented people of Ukraine, asking that the clamor of weapons cease and that the parties involved, with the support and commitment of the international community, find the courage to engage in sincere, direct, and respectful dialogue. In a wider survey of global crisis, the Pope said, "From the Child of Bethlehem, we implore peace and consolation for the victims of all current wars in the world, especially those that are forgotten, and for those who suffer due to injustice, political instability, religious persecution, and terrorism," naming Sudan, South Sudan, Mali, Burkina Faso, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. He prayed as well for Haiti, asking that all forms of violence in the country will cease, and called for a future of reconciliation for Myanmar. Pope Leo also included a specific appeal for Latin America, asking that the child Jesus inspire those in Latin America who hold political responsibilities, so that amid the region's challenges, space may be given to dialogue for the common good, rather than to ideological and partisan prejudices. He concluded by urging the faithful to open their hearts to those in need.
Luntha Parish Curator Reverend Father Stephen Chikasu has urged Christians to embrace love, humility, giving, and spreading light, emphasizing that these values are essential for a faithful Christian life and for improving the well-being of others. Delivering his homily during Christmas Mass, Father Chikasu highlighted that embracing humility allows Christians to serve others selflessly, following the example of God, who experienced early life in human form. He stressed that without humility, people may become selective in helping others, but with it, they can truly save everyone, regardless of their status. Gift Kalonga reports.
During the solemnity Mass for the Nativity of the Lord at Luntha Parish in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe, Christians were asked to practice three virtues of love, humility, giving, and spreading light. Father Stephen Chikasu said that Christians should embrace love, humility, giving, and spreading light. He said these values are central to the Christian faith and help believers glorify God while improving the lives of others. He also emphasized that humility allows Christians to serve others selflessly, following God's example of taking human form and living among people. He warned that without humility, people may become selective in their service, but with it, they can serve everyone regardless of their status. Father Chikasu said that promoting love, generosity, and light in daily life can create stronger communities and better world. He urged Christians to embrace these values not only during festival seasons, but throughout the year.
As Christians, if we embrace the spirit of humility, it means that we are portraying a good picture of who God is among us. You should recall the experience of God experiencing every life in a human form. As a creator, becoming a normal human being is something great. It's a real spirit of humility. So once we embrace the spirit of humility, we will be led to save every human being in what form he or she is. But if we run away from the spirit of humility, we'll be very selective in our ways of serving people.
Christians around the world celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ on 25 December every year. a day that brings together believers from different denominations. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
Minister of Gender, Children, Disability and Social Welfare, Mary Navicha, has urged Malawians to embrace love and inclusion of persons with disabilities, saying Christmas is a reminder of Christ's command to love one another without discrimination. Navicha made the call on Christmas Day at Glorious Light International Church in Lilongwe, where the church hosted a special celebration for over 1,000 persons with disabilities and their caregivers. Bridget Manoka reports.
The minister said the birth of Jesus Christ represents unconditional love that knows no boundaries and challenged Christians to translate their faith into action by caring for the less privileged. Navicha said disability is only a form of human diversity given by God and there is no justification for excluding them from society. She praised Glorious Light International Church, led by Bishop Dr. Abraham Simama, for demonstrating Christ-like love through practical support to persons with disabilities, describing the initiative as a true reflection of discipleship.
The Christ we are celebrating today is love. He teaches us to love one another. And what Bishop Simama and the entire church has done is a true reflection of love. We really need to love one another. And we should invest in those that are less privileged, disabilities, and so many challenges. So what we've seen here is so touching and I'm so excited. I would like to thank the Bishop and the entire leadership for the gifts to the persons with disabilities. And I would like to call upon churches, organizations, families, to emulate what Bishop Simama has done.
Glorious Light International Church leader Bishop Dr. Abraham John Simama said the church remains committed to showing love through action by supporting persons with disabilities and other vulnerable groups.
Christianity is all about love. We've been doing this every year. And to us, we've been taught by our spiritual father, Prophet T.B. Joshua, that you cannot say you love God if you don't love people of God. So we're just expressing what is our responsibility to do as children of God. Being a child of God is all about love. And being someone who has God, you express love in action. And that's exactly what we are doing. So we don't need to be thanked by anybody, but we need to thank those who have accepted our little gift of coming here and celebrating Christmas by having this luncheon together with us and accepting our gift.
In addition to the luncheon, persons with disabilities received various items including maize flour, rice, cooking oil, sugar and soap. For Luntha News, this is Bridget Manoka.
The chairperson of the Human Rights Consultative Committee, HRCC, Robert Nkwezalamba, has condemned the conduct of some individuals who rush to spread false information to foreign media houses, saying such actions fuel unrest in the country. He made the remarks today during a press briefing in Lilongwe, where he said the committee visited the office of the country Vice President Jenansa to conduct a fact-finding exercise on the matter. Nkwezalamba said the true position is that 6 people are taking part in the trip and the total cost involved is 168 million kwacha. Nkwezalamba explains.
We would like to confirm that we had an engagement with the office of the Vice President officials and other public entities with a view to establish the truth about the alleged trip to the UK. We have confirmed that the Vice President indeed is set to leave the country on the 26th of December and likely to be back after 10th of January, where she would like to fulfill a number of engagements which have been classified as private. In that regard, we were concerned before we went there with the media applications that the trip is set to cost us about 1.9 billion Malawi kwacha. And from our investigations and engagement and the detailed documentation that we have seen, it transpires that it's only 168 million Malawi kwacha that is going to be spent on this. There was an initial proposed list of 15 delegates, and even the 15 initial delegates, the number of the cost that was attached to was around 290 something million. But after a reduction, that's when the office had asked for 250 million Malawi kwacha to support the trip by the Vice President. The gap was meant to be covered through internal ORT resources.
You are still watching news on Luntha television. We'll be with me, Fale Chizombe. We'll be back shortly.
Wachinyamata ozifuna sokola bwino amayenera kalotakataka ndi ntchito zamanja. Inde ichi chifukwa chake Akomboni Technical College kulonso ku Blantyre akuyitana anyamata wonse ku maphunziro amaluso zamanja osiyanasiyana monga electrical installation and electronics, fabrication and welding, carpentry and joinery, general fitting, detailing and fashion design, omwe ndiwovomerezeka ndi a Technical Entrepreneurial and Vocational Education and Training Authority TVETA. Zofunika ndi certificate ya form 4 yomwe ili ndi pass mu English, mathematics ndi phunziro lilonse la science. Ndi application fee ya 7,000 kwacha yokha basi yomwe izalipilidwe ku National Bank account number 1345605. Zofunika kuchita patengeni ma application form ku skulu iyi ndi kusankha phunziro limodzi limene mwalifuna, ndipo mukatero phatikizani kopi ya certificate yanu ndi umboni oti mwalipira application fee. Ndipo tsiku lotseka kulandira ma application form ndi pa 27 December 2025. Maphunzirowa azayamba pa 12 January 2026. Tamangani, chitani machawi malo sanathe. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri imbani foni pa 083 137 008, 0992 899 765, kapenanso email ku komboni@gmail.com.
Welcome back. Still on the news. You're still watching news on Luntha television. Before we proceed, another look at our top stories.
Pope Leo XIV highlights Gaza and Yemen migrants in first Christmas Ubi et Obi message. Minister of Gender calls for love and inclusion of persons with disabilities at Christmas celebrations. Former Vice President Dr. Michael Usi spreads Christmas cheer, calls for love and compassion. In another news, 5 killed in suspected suicide bombing at a mosque in Nigeria's Borno state.
Moving forward, as part of the Christmas celebration marking the birth of Jesus Christ, former Vice President Dr. Michael Usi visited patients admitted at Mitundu Community Hospital in Lilongwe, where he also provided financial assistance to help them meet their basic needs. Speaking during the visit, Dr. Usi said the gesture was aimed at sharing joy with those spending the festive season in hospital and reminding Malawians of the importance of love, compassion and unity, especially during Christmas and the New Year. Etandrim Mara has more details.
Dr. Usi urged citizens to look out for one another, stressing that showing kindness to the sick, the vulnerable and those in need reflects the true meaning of celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. During his tour of the facility, Dr. Usi observed challenges facing the hospital, including congestion in the maternity ward, where some expectant mothers are reportedly sharing beds due to limited space. He described the situation as a concern and called for continued efforts to improve conditions in public health facilities.
So there are issues here, there are problems really that not only government can solve those issues. So as a Malawian, as a citizen of the Republic, I've seen what I've seen and I'll see what I can do. Well, I'm not going to say exactly what I'm going to do because I do refer such issues to colleagues, friends that help me. I'll definitely tell them what I've seen and whatever they give me.
After the hospital visit, Dr. Usi also toured Mwitundu Market where he interacted with traders and purchased various goods. He used the opportunity to encourage small-scale business operators to remain resilient and continue working hard despite economic challenges. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Tandiwe Mzumara.
Malawi Prison Service Public Relations Officer Steve Meke has clarified the circumstances surrounding the release of a 25-year-old repeat offender, Peter Mwenyevesa, saying he was lawfully freed after benefiting from statutory sentence remissions and presidential amnesties amid public concerns over his alleged involvement in violent motorcycle robberies in Lilongwe. Meke was responding to public concern and questions over how a convicted offender serving a custodial sentence was released from prison before completing his full term. Gift Kalonga has more in this report.
After Lilongwe police announced the arrest of former convict Peter Mwenyevesa on allegations of motorcycle theft in Lilongwe, this raised widespread questions over how he was released from the prison. Speaking with Luntha TV on the matter, Malawi Prison Service Public Relations Officer Steve Meke said the prison authority followed the law in releasing Peter Mwenyevesa, stressing that his discharge was neither irregular nor influenced by external pressure. He explained that the Prisons Act provides for statutory remissions which allow inmates who demonstrate good conduct to have their sentences reduced. Meke further said Mwenyevesa also benefited from 3 presidential amnesties granted on March 31, July, and December 25, 2024, which cumulatively shortened his 48-month sentence and made his eligible for release on December 26, 2024. He emphasized that once an inmate completes a sentence through lawful remissions and amnesties, the prison service has no legal basis to continue holding them. He also clarified that the prison service's responsibility ends once an inmate is lawfully released or handed over to police custody for court proceedings, adding that Mwenyevesa's failure to return to prison after later court appearances in a matter now being handled by the police.
Yes, I can confirm that Peter Mwenyevesa served a 48-month jail term at Lilongwe Prison, effective from 29th November 2023, and his offense was theft of cattle. And he was supposed to be released on 28th of November 2027. However, he was released from prison on 26th of December 2024 because of presidential amnesties that he benefited from in the course of serving his jail term.
Meanwhile, Mwenyevesa is currently in police custody in Lilongwe, where authorities are investigating his alleged involvement in several motorcycle thefts, some of which reportedly resulted in serious injuries and fatalities. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
In international news, at least 5 people were killed and 35 others injured when a suspected suicide bomber detonated an explosive inside a mosque in Maiduguri, the capital of Nigeria's Borno state. The blast at Al Dum Mosque took place at about 6 p.m. during evening prayers. Police said that eyewitnesses described scenes of panic as victims were rushed to the University of Maguduli Teaching Hospital and the State Specialist Hospital. We have an African News report read by Tantiwe Zumara.
No group has claimed responsibility for Wednesday's attack, which comes amid heightened security concerns in Nigeria's northeast. Islamist insurgents Boko Haram and its Islamic State-aligned faction have waged a 15-year campaign of violence targeting civilians, mosques, and markets in the region. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum condemned the attack, calling it barbaric and inhumane. He urged heightened vigilance in places of worship and public spaces during the holiday season. Police confirmed the casualty figures and said bomb disposal teams had cordoned off the area. He added that investigations were underway and advised residents to remain calm and vigilant. Last August, gunmen attacked a mosque and nearby homes in northwest Katsina State, killing at least 50, according to local officials and residents.
That news item concludes our today's news bulletin. Before we go, another look at our top stories.
Pope Leo XIV highlights Gaza and Yemen migrants in first Christmas Ubi et Obi message. Minister of Gender calls for love and inclusion of persons with disabilities at Christmas celebrations. Former Vice President Dr. Michael Usi spreads Christmas cheer, calls for love and compassion. And in other news, 5 killed in suspected suicide bombing at a mosque in Nigeria's Borno State.
I've been Fales Chizombe. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to tune in for the rest of our programs here on Luntha Television. Merry Christmas and happy festive season.
Wachinyamata ozifuna sokola bwino amaina kalotagadaga n'intchito zamanja. Inde ichi chifukwa chake Akwamboni Technical College kulonzo ku Blantyre awirana nyamata wonse kumaphunziro amaluso zamanja osiyanasiyana monga electrical installation and electronics, fabrication and welding, carpentry and joinery, general fitting, detailing and fashion design. Omwe ndovomerezeka ndi a Technical Entrepreneurial and Vocational Education and Training Authority TVETA. Zofunika ndi certificate ya Form 4 yomwe ili ndi pass mu English, Mathematics ndi phunziro lilonse la science. Ndi application fee ya 7,000 kwa jayoka basi yomwe izalipilidwe ku National Bank account number 1345605. Zofunika kuchita katengeni ma application form ku skulu iyi ndi kusankha phunziro limodzi limene mwalifuna, ndipo mukatero phatikizani kopi ya certificate yanu